year two. Hope you've had a fabulous day, and I hope you're ready for the next chapter of our class story, Guinea Pig Superstar. Do you remember yesterday where Harry Stevenson, the guinea pig, had just caught a first glimpse of school, and he'd looked at the windows decorated with flags and pictures and the brightly coloured signs and seen all the children in the playground? I wonder what's going to happen today. Let's find out. Chapter 3, King of the Playground, Harry Stevenson. Harry Stevenson had watched a lot of films on the sofa with Billy, and in one of them, the heroes walked into town in slow motion, striding along like they owned the street and looking very cool indeed. It felt a lot like that to Harry as Billy and Maya passed through the school gates and went into the playground. Harry's heart raced with joy as he took in the scene. There was a lot to see. Hordes of children were running around in a laughing, shouting, whizzing blur of colour. There were footballs and skipping ropes, wild, shrieking games of chase, and all sorts of general charging about going on. So this is school, thought Harry. His first impression was, school is busy, and his second was, school is very noisy. It was all quite overwhelming. But then he heard Billy calling out to his friends, and Jake and Daniel came running up. Harry had met both at Billy's party, and it was reassuring to see familiar faces. "Hey, Billy, hey, Maya," said Jake, and "Oh, hey, Harry." There were more footsteps as Jess and Scarlett came over to join them. "Hi, everyone," they called. "Wow, Billy, you really have brought Harry." "Hello, Harry." "Cool, a guinea pig," said a girl nearby, and before long, Harry was in the middle of a big circle of children, all oohing and ahhing over him, and telling Billy how much they wished they had a guinea pig too. Harry Stevenson shook his whiskers with pride. Billy was part of a group now, and, excitingly, so was Harry. Harry felt like the king of the playground. There he is. As the friends walked over to their favourite bench, they started talking about show and tell, and soon were laughing out loud as they'd all, apart from Billy, bought their Sparky FC medals. "Uh-oh," said Jake. "There goes Jack." Harry looked up. He'd heard all about Jack from Billy. Jack was a friendly boy, but he did like playing jokes. Sometimes they went a bit too far. Harry knew, like that time with the earwig in the sandwich. The earwig had turned out to be plastic, which was lucky for all concerned, especially the earwig. Everyone had had a Jack joke played on them at some point, Billy's friends said. As a new boy, it was only a matter of time before it happened to Billy, and Harry didn't like the sound of it at all. "There's Miss Gibby," said Billy. Harry peered out curiously. Miss Gibby was Billy's teacher, so he often talked about her. Harry knew that she was kind and funny, but could be strict, and that she was a big fan of Sparky FC. Billy said that there was even a picture of the team above her desk. Harry had always wondered what Miss Gibby looked like. He could see a lady with sleek fair hair wearing a brightly patterned dress. Miss Gibby had a kind but nervous face. She seemed a lot younger than Mr. and Mrs. Smith and was carrying a shiny bell with a wooden handle. There she is. "I'm hiding Harry from Miss Gibby," Billy said, picking up the carrier so its wire front faced his chest and couldn't be seen. "I want her to have a really big surprise when we do show and tell." Never mind Miss Gibby, it was Harry who got a really big surprise just then, because at that moment she loudly rang the bell. Clang, 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 clang. Harry jumped so far in the air that he bumped his head on the carrier roof. Oof! The circles of chattering, giggling children broke up and came together again in giggling, chatty lines in front of their teachers. When Billy joined the back of Miss Gibby's line, he found himself next to a boy who was carrying a cardboard box very carefully. Harry felt a chill of fear when he saw that box. There was something about it that made him uneasy. "Hi, Fergus," said Billy. What's in your box?" But he never got to find out because Miss Gibby called for quiet. Then she turned and led her class into the school building. Harry Stevenson peeped out from the carrier and took in the view. Everything about school felt a lot bigger than the Smiths' flat, so he was glad to be safe inside the carrier. Harry wondered if he was the very first guinea pig ever to set paw in the school, just like those astronauts on the moon in a film he'd watched with Billy. The line of children snaked into the main building, past a friendly-looking lady on the reception desk, turned a corner and then went up a twisting staircase. All the walls were covered in paintings, drawings and photographs. Harry tried to spot Billy in the pictures, but they were moving too fast. After what seemed to Harry like a lot of stairs, corners, corridors and doors, the long procession ended. The children streamed into their classroom and went to sit at low wooden tables. Billy headed for one at the back of the class and put the carrier down on the tabletop, its door facing away from Miss Gibby again. He didn't want to spoil the surprise. "Are you okay, Harry?" Billy whispered. Harry couldn't answer, of course, but he was more than okay. He was enthralled. Snug in the hay, he had a perfect view of the classroom through the holes in the carrier. Harry could see all the children's backs and Miss Gibby sitting at her desk at the front of the class, next to a whiteboard on the wall. He could also see Fergus's box underneath a table nearby. As he stared at the box, it seemed to move a little. Harry blinked. No, he must have imagined it. But there was definitely something sinister about that box. "Good morning, Class 3G, said Miss Gibby. "Good morning, Miss Gibby," chanted the children happily. "Good morning, everybody." "Well," said Miss Gibby, "what an exciting day this is. It's our show and tell. But there's something else happening too." "Ooh," sang the class. "What you did know is that today our art competition will be judged," continued Miss Gibby. "But what you didn't know is that we have some very special visitors coming to do it. The city mayor, a reporter and a professional artist. Now you know what I'm going to say, don't you? I want everyone to promise to be on their very best behaviour." "We promise, Miss Gibby," chorused the class. Harry Stevenson almost joined in with a really noisy squeak, but remembered just in time that he was supposed to be a really big surprise. They seemed like very well-behaved children, Harry thought. Then he noticed that one of the boys had his fingers crossed behind his back. Harry looked closer. It was Jack. Crossed fingers. What does that mean? Wondered Harry. I wonder what crossing your fingers behind your back means. Talk to your grown-up about that. See if you can come up with some ideas. Might be an important part of the story. Let's find out tomorrow. Take care, Year 2. See you tomorrow. Bye.